Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to Run It Back. Lou Will, Chandler P, Michelle B on the show today. We are going to get to some basketball, but yesterday was a very somber and sad day for the league. Brandon Clarke passed away at the age of 29, and we also lost Jason Collins to brain cancer that he had been battling for quite some time at the age of 47. It was a back-to-back news break. It was a lot to sort of digest and process, and people will still be doing that for some time to come. Lou, did you want to say anything?
Just prayers and love to the Collins family, prayers and love to the Clarke family, and, you know, we got to remind everybody just be kind to each other. You never know what people are going through and experiencing and dealing with in their lives. And in sports culture, we get used to calling people bums and trash and they suck and all over missed free throws and jump shots, you know. So sometimes we have situations like this that puts everything back in perspective. So, you know, prayers and love to both of those families respectfully.
Yeah, it was just a horrible day for the NBA, for everybody, for their family, for everyone involved. It's just terrible. And like Lou just said, you never really know what's going on in people's life. And this is much bigger than sports and basketball in the NBA. This is people's lives, this is people's family members, and they're both just way too young to be gone. So thoughts and prayers with all of them and their families and their organizations and everything, because it's just a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah, that was a tough back-to-back pieces of news to get on both those, and thoughts out to everybody who loved both of those guys. So yeah, that is something the league will process. But we did have a game last night that we should probably get to right now. I'd like to start. Good job, refs. T-Wolves in San Antonio, Game 5. San Antonio with the win. Big one, actually. 126-97 is your final. Old Wemby, 27, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. Keldon with 21 points in 22 minutes off the bench.
Double behind the back. That's crazy.
I'd love to see it. Anthony Edwards, 20 points. Look, this was a great shooting night for San Antonio. 53% to the T-Wolves, 39%. After this one, Devin Vassell said the Spurs needed an upset Vic. Only got one. While Mitch Johnson preferred the word immature in his approach. I'll take either one, Lou. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
What statement do you think Wemby made last night?
Set the tone for his guys, you know, and understanding he was playing with fire. It was a blessing for him to be involved in this game, and he didn't take that for granted. He went out there and did what he was supposed to do as the best player in that team. That first quarter, he was tremendous. Did a lot of his damage right out of the gate, from rebounding to what he did on the offensive end, the tone that he set on the defensive end. And I think after that, the rest of those guys picked up the slack. You had a brilliant night from Harper, the guards, Vassell and Castle. Obviously, they've been consistent in what they've been able to do. But it all started with Wemby and how he approached that game and was aggressive on the offensive end, was able to get to the rim, use this 3-ball. He only made 2, but early in that game, he was just hella aggressive. You know, I haven't seen him that aggressive in all of these playoffs. So it was a good sign for them, and I think it carried over through 4 quarters after that.
Yeah, just this energy and just this maturity, if you want to say the word like Mitch Johnson did, just to start the games. Like having 18 points and 6 rebounds in the first quarter, that's a great game for most people that are playing right now. And this guy set the tone doing this 2-2 series, again, back against the wall, needed this game, protect home court, and he kind of instilled his will and his power early and set the tempo in this entire game. So this is exactly what they needed. Lou mentioned Dylan Harper. He was great. He's been fantastic all series. Keldon Johnson really stepped up big last night.
Keldon Johnson had another big night.
He's kind of their tough guy, their motor. He plays so hard, and he was finishing really efficient. Like,
he was the bully last night.
He was unbelievable, but the tone was set by Wemby, and it's just crazy. I was watching him last night, and like, there's not one thing he cannot do on the basketball court. Like, even just watching those highlights, his handle, his shot taking, his shot making, like, it truly is unbelievable just with his size and his athleticism and his handle and his just offensive game. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's ridiculous.
They tried him last night. They tried to get him. I saw
Rage baiting.
They tried to get him, but he was not the one last night, people. At the beginning of the game, Nick Wright, you know what, Nick? I'm going to go ahead and answer this one real quick. Posted it was wild that everybody was referring to last night as the return of a wronged hero and not a dude who was fortunate he wasn't suspended after the elbow to Naz Reid. You know what, Nick?
He ain't wrong,
Shut
dude.
up.
He's not wrong.
No, shut up.
I got
Just
it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, that way was the return of a wronged hero because the game was in San Antonio.
He wasn't wronged.
Yeah, we know you have your
was
bias, but I mentioned it yesterday in the group chat. I was like, the narrative around him playing in this game is kind of funny. Like, he's passionate now because he threw an elbow. It's like, no, it was a dirty play.
And why is he mad?
Yeah, why are you mad? And it's fortunate that you didn't get fined because, number one, by the rule, you're supposed to at least be fined $2,000. Didn't get fined, didn't get suspended. That's a blessing. But the play also better with Wemby, and I don't think he should have been suspended. But the narrative around, like, oh, he's a wronged hero, or he's mature, or he was being rage baited. It's like, no, he did something out of pocket.
Yeah.
And
he was ejected for 3.5 quarters. And that's basically a game.
That should be it. But where's the wronged hero?
I don't think he was a wronged hero, but hero, yes, because you're playing in your home arena. So of course you're gonna. That's how it works.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Anything wrong.
I was in the house.
He's got no reason to be upset. Like if he got suspended for Game 5, if he could have.
About what?
He's not upset. Fans are the ones that welcome him back as a hero. He's fine. By the way, I was in the building the game that Draymond Green returned to after he chest stomped Sabonis, and he was welcomed back like an actual hero. That man saw a dude on the ground, looked at him, and then proceeded to chest stomp. So this is how we are.
So that with that example that you just made, the home crowds, right? But nobody said, but nobody publicly made Draymond a wronged hero. In his arena, yes, he was a hero. In Wemby's arena, yes, it's a hero.
Yes.
But on national broadcast, it was going out as if he was some type of...
I don't listen to the national broadcast.
Well, I'm just telling you what I heard. So that's why I reached out and said something last night, because that play was deemed as a passionate play.
Maybe
no, that's not a passionate play. You threw a damn elbow.
Okay, but he also was getting it the entire... There's a reason why the refs last night were like a little bit more eyes open, whistles ready, because they're watching. They manhandle Wemby. Wemby finally had it. Boom.
That's basketball.
Ask me whatever you want, Chandler.
So you just said that Draymond Green looked at him on the ground and stomped on his chest. You hated that. You don't like that. Wemby did the same exact thing with the guy standing up, looked at him, and elbowed him in the face.
It was a lot quicker, and it was more like this. So I can excuse it.
By the way, I'll tell you this. Nick Wright, he says some crazy shit. Like, I agree
Nick Wright's wrong on this.
I agree with him on this one.
Nope.
But
this one I disagree.
One of a lot of takes that I agree with.
Yeah, if he does this again, if Wemby does this again, it's probably a suspension though. Like this is strike one. Like fine.
I'll say it's dirty.
Like if he does it again, now you're messing with your team's success. Now you're not going to be available.
I don't think he does it again.
There will be a suspension next time you do it. This wasn't a mistake.
Nope.
This wasn't an elbow. This wasn't an accident. This was an intentional elbow to the face. So he gets a pass here, which still I don't know if he should have. But it was the first time. If he does it again, it's going to be some real consequences. I promise you that.
There's a reason why his coach said he prefers a more mature Wemby.
Correct.
Keep your emotions under check because we dodged a bullet here. Yep. And because we were able to dodge this bullet, we got a convincing Game 5 win that we absolutely needed. So I understand that part, but the rage bait, he's not getting fouled no more than anybody else. You have to be physical. This is the NBA playoffs. Nobody's going out of their way to put Wemby on his butt. He's going to stay on the floor.
I don't know about that.
Well, he's a tall tree. He's going to stay on the floor. He falls on the floor.
I think it's a strategy.
5 to 10 times. It should be a strategy to be physical.
5 to 10 times minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like it should be a strategy to be physical
with
with somebody. But as you can tell, there's no trash talk. Nobody's going out of their way to elbow him and do all of these things.
Are you insane?
This is basketball.
They are 100% going out of their way, and they're chirping him the whole time.
That's just, if you watch every series, you play a team 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. There's going to be physicality.
Right.
There's going to be.
But they're not doing it to others because they know that this is the way. Like if we can get Wemby out of the way, then that opens up everything for everybody.
Well, listen, I think here's the thing. If you ask any basketball player and anyone that's been a defender,
only one person in foul trouble last night on Minnesota. But nobody's going out of their way.
We asked Bruce Bowen, we asked Corey, we asked all these great defenders in the NBA. How would you guard Wemby?
And Jaden McDaniels fouled 2 guys on 3-pointers. That's not aggressive.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't have a case here for anybody going out of their way to be physical with Wemby.
Lou, listen. The first thing that you say
literally on the
Naz
Reid play we do.
The first thing you say on the scouting report of Wemby is to be physical with him.
Yeah.
Now they're being physical with him, and you have a problem with it?
No,
that is what everyone for 82 games just did.
Literally saying, if I'm on the other side of this, 100% that is my strategy. I'm also saying, as a Spurs fan, we are going to treat him as a hero returning because he is our hero returning.
Well, if he keeps having 27 and 17, he's going to be a hero.
And if he does it again, if he has a play that is deemed quote-unquote dirty, then yes, we can have the conversation of, is Wemby a dirty player? I'm telling you right now, I don't think he's better.
I think we're on the same page here. I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he made a dirty play. But what I said
agree
was
with that.
on national telecast that I'm watching, everybody is talking about.
Name him.
Whoever was on the thing last night. Was it Reggie? Whatever.
Jamal?
Yeah. He was deemed as passionate.
Yeah, it can't be Jamal.
Yeah, it was deemed as passion. Like, and some other guys.
Yeah, he was fiery.
Yeah, and if it's so.
But if it was someone else, it's dirty.
It's somebody else.
Because they have a
call a
track
spade a spade. We all love Wemby. Don't get it confused.
You know what, Lou? I gotta be honest. No, let's take a time out here. I'm starting to feel like you don't love Wemby the way you should.
No, it don't, because I don't feel how you feel about it.
Why not?
Because I'm not married to the San Antonio Spurs like you are. So I can have an unbiased opinion about it without it being Wemby love, Wemby love, Wemby love. I think he's one of the most dominant guys in the game. I think he was brilliant last night, but sometimes we got to call a spade a spade. A lot of times in our business, in basketball, we don't call a spade a spade. We call it how we see it with people's reputations and how we want to see it. That's my problem.
Like, I think if Jokic did this too, I think he'd get a little bit of a pass. He hasn't really done like he doesn't have that history of being quote unquote a dirty player. He doesn't have that Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green kind of background.
There's no pattern of it.
There's now again. So if it happens again, there's no excuses now. This was in the moment. He got his emotions got the best of him. Call it passionate, fiery. Call it stupid.
Call it dirty.
Call it dirty. Call it whatever.
But it's a one-off.
He was wrong for it, and hopefully he grows from it and doesn't happen again, or else his team is going to be penalized.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it again. I think
he's smart enough and mature enough to not do it.
I was going to say, the one thing I've learned about Wemby through the course of this year especially is, like, if he does something bad or does something that maybe should be better, he learns right away. Like, in this business, we say he takes direction
well. And also, that's probably why you see Pop at the airport. Pop was like, hey, bro, we don't...
You think Pop was like, don't do that shit again?
You dodged a bullet. That is, listen, not only did he almost get suspended for this game, this is a pivotal game. And he cost them that game. So, that's 2 games ago at this point. They did what they were supposed to do last night and handle business, and a lot of that was on the back of Wemby, and that's why you need him available. That's why you need him not to make those type of plays.
Yeah.
Last night was glorious. That's just a side note. Dylan Harper.
Do you watch the games, like, just by yourself and your...
With my socks, but you know what I've learned is if you've noticed, I don't post pregame anymore because I'm a jinx. So I wait until after.
Like, are you butts in seats for, like, the anthem? Or are you
but last night I was uneasy all day yesterday. Like, I was really not enjoying the day.
Well,
I just wanted to.
That's why you wanted to fight with
Everyone
us
knows
for 10 minutes this morning.
Everyone knows who wins Game 5 wins it.
Why are you doing this? I don't want a 7. How about we put it there? I don't want a 7. Let's just get this thing over with.
7, sister.
I don't really want that. Dylan Harper, what else can you say? And by the way, we went into yesterday also thinking questionable, and I was nervous. No, he looked fine off the bench. 14.6 is what he's averaging in about 24 minutes. I don't know. He's 12 points, 10 rebounds in Game 5. First rookie in NBA history to have multiple 10-10 playoff games off the bench. Again, he's like a treasure, Chandler. What else can you say?
It's very rare to see a player of his age and such a high pick contribute so quickly on a really, really good team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, usually, again, it's like the Cooper flags. You're a high pick for a reason. You're going to a team that needs you, to a team that was really bad the season before. This is in a unique situation because the Spurs are a fantastic team. They're loaded at the guard position, and he still finds ways to thrive with De'Aaron Fox on the floor with him, with Stephon Castle on the floor with him, like with all these other playmaking, productive guards, and he finds a way to stand out. And he's so good. He's so athletic. His handle, like he is going to be an absolute star in this league, and he's fearless. Like, these kids are just different. I knew he grew up around it. I knew his father was a great player. Like, he's been around the league. He's not a normal rookie. He's not nervous. He's not timid. He is taking the game to them. He plays with his head down, and he is an explosive guard that is going to be around for a really long time and have multiple All-Stars and hopefully championships for San Antonio, and he's going to be a huge part of that going forward because he is a dog.
He's also, Lou, I don't know how they keep doing it. They keep
poised.
finding these types of players, like very
55% from the field, too. He's efficient.
Very stoic.
Listen, you guys have a great culture down in San Antonio, and they go out and they
Thank you very much.
You guys.
What am I doing?
You guys. But they do a great job of going out and find guys that fit the mold. And Dylan Harper last night, the one thing that stood out to me was the 5 offensive rebounds. When you have a guard at that size that goes and gets 5 offensive rebounds, that tells me that he's relentless and he wants it more. Offensive rebounding is just effort. That's just a guy going out there and just giving himself and giving his team another opportunity to win basketball games. When you're a coach, that's one of the things that you preach. Limit turnovers. Don't allow a team to beat you by extra possessions. Go get offensive rebounds. Go get extra possessions for your team. So when you have a young guy that understands how important those offensive rebounds and being relentless and staying on the glass, using your size to your advantage, how important that is, that's such an added plus for a team that already has other dynamic young guards as well.
It's crazy. We gotta look at the other side of things as well. It was weird last night because Julius Randle had that sort of bad body language that we used to see when they would have bad Knicks games, like just sort of not himself. He's averaging 13 points, 35% from the field in the 4 games in this series. I don't know. I'm not pinpointing one person for this loss, but overall his series has been less than optimal.
Yeah, he's got to be better. And I feel like watching him is like watching Cat. Like, I feel like you know right away what version you're going to get. Like, and you can just tell if he's aggressive, if he has energy, if he's got that pep in his step early on, you know you're going to get a different version of Julius Randle. And when he's good, he is so good. He gets in the paint. It's tough for him because he gets downhill, he tries to get to his left hand, and then he spins. Every time he spins against the San Antonio Spurs, he knows there's a 7'6" guy coming weak side to try and beat his shot up. So I think he's settling a lot. He's taking more outside jumpers. He's taking more mid-range jumpers because of the idea that Wemby is at the rim. And that's usually where he plays bully ball and gets to the rim and tries to overpower you. He can't really do that with Wemby, at the rim meeting him. So I think he'll find ways to get more involved early on, because I think when he gets going, it kind of makes their offense a lot easier. He was 0 for 4 from the 3 last night, so obviously when he can expand and make shots, makes the defense kind of get closer to him, where he can beat you on the first step and kind of be more aggressive in ISO situation. But he's definitely got to be better. We know Anthony Edwards is going to be solid. We know Jaden McDaniels at this point is going to be exactly who he is.
He just had a wonky night at first.
Julius Randle has got to be kind of that X factor where he gives you those 20 and 10, because their offense is way better, obviously, when he's better.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that, and I'll say that was the Wemby effect, right? Like, Wemby got off to such a great start on offense and defensive end that it put Julius Randle kind of on his heels a little bit. He didn't get off to the smooth start that he wanted, and from there they were playing uphill. They were trying to battle back into a game, and they were able to do that a couple of different times. But when a team comes out and has momentum right away, and you're not able to catch a rhythm, you're not able to do the things that make you comfortable on the court, and it puts you in a position to try to do other things, and that extends him to the three-point line. 0 for 4 from the three-point line. So he's like, damn, I can't even find success out here. I'm having a rough night. And so I just think this has been the success. This has been the showing of Wemby that's been able to limit a lot of the things that Julius Randle he does on both ends of the court, because of Wemby and how he's able to affect the game. The one game that he went out that he got ejected from, what kind of night did Julius Randle have after that? He was able to be dominant. He was able to get to the rim. So I attribute a lot of this to Wemby and him being a big presence in this game.
And I just feel like they need someone on that bench to have that big game. Like when they're playing great, like Terrence Shannon pours in 20 or 18 points. Like Mike Conley hits 3 or 4 threes. Like Naz Reid has 25. Like it's got to be someone, especially with DiVincenzo out. Last night they were 9 of 33. They shot 27% from the three-point line. I can't help but think some of those are going in at DiVincenzo's and didn't get hurt. So like,
big loss.
That is what it is. But someone on that bench has got to be that spark plug. Whether Bones Highland, Kyle Anderson, someone's got to give them that production, especially when Julius Randle's struggling.
I don't think we got to look too far. It's just got to be the guys that are shooting the basketball. Ayo is going to get a lot of attempts. Anthony Edwards is going to get a lot of attempts. Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels are going to get a lot of attempts. Those guys, we're looking at Jaden Daniels 3 for 7 from 3. Edwards 1 for 3 from 3. Ayo 1 for 4 from 3. Mike Conley only got 1 for 2. Naz Reid is another guy, 3 for 7 from 3. Oh. The guys that you need shooting the basketball, they just weren't efficient from the three-point line.
It was a bad combination of a lot of things going wrong in one game. The Giant Slayer, Rudy Gobert, has not quite been the same in this particular series. And this is going to sound almost blasphemous for me to say out loud, but I'm not saying it. I've heard others say it. Should the Timberwolves consider perhaps maybe in this next game flipping things around in the starting lineup? Is that even something you would consider if you're Chris Finch?
I don't think so, because they need him to offset Wemby as much as he possibly can. He had such a great series against Jokic, just making things difficult on him. Wemby's a different type of player offensively, and obviously he's a lot taller and has more length. But Rudy's got to have that sort of passion, that sort of energy on the defensive end, and try and make it harder for him. And again, it's easier said than done.
Sure.
Those guys, neither of them are really guardable to a point, but he's just got to have that impact, whether it's loose balls, diving on the floor, taking charges, blocking shots, offensive tip outs, like all the little stuff that Rudy Gobert can do without getting the ball and trying to score points. His value is not on how many points he had, how many shots he took. It's can he do all those little things, and can he make Wemby's night harder on him than it should be? And he hasn't really done that. I feel like he did a much better job with Jokic, but again, he knows him very well. Wemby also knows him really well. They have the whole French connection thing. They've known each other for years. They've been playing against each other for years, been played with each other, but he's just got to have more. I don't know if it's energy or physicality or something, but he's got to make it more difficult for Wemby.
Yeah, and on the offensive end, he's 1 for 4 from the field last night. But those 3 shots that he did miss were all layups, all putback dunks that he missed. You just gotta do your job, right? 5 rebounds total. You're 7
That
feet.
I don't love.
You can't have that. You gotta at least have double digits in rebounding. And also, I hate the fact that he got 2 steals and he only got 1 block shot. I hate that. I don't want my 7-footer having 2 steals and 1 block shot. Got to be more of a presence at the rim. I think if he does all of those things, like we're not asking him to go out and get 15 points a game. No, just do the things that you're supposed to do as a big, as a guy that's going to control the middle of the paint. You got to do those things well. So 5 rebounds, only 1 block shot. That just tells me you're not having the presence that you need. So should they make a change? No, because I think he's an impactful player.
Yeah.
And at home, he's a lot better when he's in his building. I don't think you change it up right now, but he just has to be more efficient and be better on both ends of the floor.
That's a good point, too. They're going to be in their building. Can you even imagine making a change? I can't. After this one, as you could probably think, Ant's confident, saying, I'll see nobody in our locker room that's too worried. Now, we don't get Game 6 until Friday, which is a dang
good for
shame. Let me ask you, Lou, I start with you. Does this thing end in 6, or do we have a 7 on Sunday?
I genuinely feel like we got 7 games.
Come on, man.
And I like to listen. A lot of people be like, "Oh, he's not worried." If I have the best player on my team and he's like, "We all right. This is what we expect." Nobody said this was going to be easy. That tells me we're still in a good space. We're still in a confident space. If he's frantic and he's worried, that would concern me more so than anything. So I like the fact that he's like, "Look, I'm not too worried. Game 6 is in our building. We're going to respond and we'll be all right." Game 7 on Sunday. I like the attitude. I like him keeping the morale up, them not hanging their heads and being prepared to move on.
Yeah, selfishly, I want a Game 7.
Of course,
I think those are the
know.
best games, obviously, all season
On a
long.
Sunday.
Come on. Like, there's nothing better than that. I do have a weird feeling that the momentum and the mindset of Wemby, I think it ends in 6. I think San Antonio closed out in 6. They've proved that they can win on the road. They have the experience. They're healthy. They have till Friday to kind of clean up any of those bones and the bruises that Harper and Fox may have had.
I think those will all heal.
Yeah, I think so. But obviously, and also look at the spread. It went from 10.5 to 4.5. That's a 6-point swing just from home court advantage. Like obviously, it's a big deal. Teams have been very successful at home this year. I just think San Antonio's too deep, too good, and I think they close out in 6.
Think about
But I want 7.
My only thing is this. Think about mindsets though. Like San Antonio, they just have a big win, right? And then you go on the road. You hear your best player. Minnesota's going to do everything they can possibly do to get off to a great start and to really put their foot down, like San Antonio did in a pivotal Game 5 to get the building.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you kind of see teams that know that Game 7 is on their floor like, all right, y'all got it. I'm not saying that San Antonio isn't going to fight, but
I know they got 2 chances at winning 1.
Yeah, and your psyche is kind of like, okay, this may be their night, and then once you kind of get punched in the mouth, it's up to you to either respond or kind of lay down. I'm not saying San Antonio is the type of team that lay down, but naturally in a lot of these positions, that's what we typically see. And Minnesota has been the type of team to respond well and play well on their own home court.
Nerve-wracking, isn't it?
What do you think?
I got to be honest with you. Kind of sucks to be invested in the playoffs.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like Edwards, not worried. Beadle.
Worried.
Nerve-wracking.
They're up 3-2.
I just remember the days when the team wasn't playing 7 years in the playoffs. This is rough. We're going to take a quick break. We got some. Look who's standing by.
Legend.
Yes,
Mr.
indeed.
Hardaway. When we come back.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
Tim Hardaway. The killer crossover. That was brilliant. Hall of Fame. Put that in your highlight reel. Hall of Fame.
That crossover still like that killer crossover right on time. Yes,
Good
sir.
promotion.
That is how you start an interview. Well done. Well, tell us about the book.
I got that on tape. I can't read good.
that he really can't.
Yeah, it's coming out on tape.
We got to get the audio book for this guy.
He really can't read
audio
at all. How you doing, by the way? Welcome back.
I'm great. I'm great. Can't complain. You know, we still living. We still moving around. We still hanging in there. You know, we lost 2 great guys yesterday.
Yes.
You know, prayers out to them and their families, and condolences to them and their families. So, you know, it's tough. It's tough out here.
No, well said. It was a rough day. Too much bad news in one day. Can we start real quick? I just want to start with the Denver Nuggets. Your son, obviously, on that team. First round loss to these T-Wolves.
Great season, by the way.
Great season. We were a little disappointed because we were kind of want to see Denver keep going. A lot of people now, when you get eliminated, it's like immediate, is the window closed talk. That's the next conversation. How are you viewing the window for championships for that team?
Well, you know, I think they have some decisions to make. You know, Watson, are they going to keep him? You know, they talking as little, you know, talk about Aaron Gordon and Murray, what they want to do with them. And you know what? To me, when a team goes through a bunch of injuries in a year, I feel that you need to let them run it back, because they need to come back healthy and ready to go next season. And they know what they can do. Brown, he knows what he can do. He's been hurt with it when he went out with that injury, with the ankle injury, and it seemed like he couldn't get himself back together. Just same way with Gordon. When he went out with that hamstring injury, he just couldn't get himself back going. And, you know, even Jokic, when he went out with the knee injury, it took him a while to get going. And, you know, I think that if I was the owner, the GM, I would want to run it back with that same crew healthy. And we still got to brush up on some things. You know, our defense was terrible. You know, man-to-man defense, not tough enough at times, not in your face at times. I think they got to, you know, go out there and hit somebody first instead of letting them get hit and going down 15 and always clawing your way back. I think you got to take the initiative to them and take the fight to them and make them understand that, you know, this is how it's going to be 48 minutes. And I didn't think they did that enough. But I think that, you know, they still need some shooting, outside shooting, consistent outside shooting. I still think they need Tim Hardaway Jr. there to come off the bench and play a significant role for their team. But, you know, if I was them, I would want to run it back when I'm healthy and I'm 100% healthy, because if they was 100% healthy, I think they could have beat the Timberwolves and went on and played the second round.
Yeah, Tim, you mentioned your son, obviously, who provides shooting, which I don't think you can ever have too much shooting, especially in today's game. It's not really what Peyton Watson does, though, but he was fantastic when Aaron Gordon went out, when Jokic went out. Is that someone that, if you're the GM, you're the owner, are you investing $20-25+ million a season for that guy to get him back? Because, like you just said, it's not what he really does, what the Nuggets need, but he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. You know, you can't let a talent like that go. You know, and you got to fit them pieces around Jokic in order to win. And I think with his charisma, with his how he plays, how hard he plays, you know, it'd be hard to let him go and not get nothing back. Right. You know, who you gonna get back that's that talented and that can play in that system that way? Yeah. I don't think there's many people that's out there that's free agent or you have to trade for. So you know, they backs up against the wall as GMs, and they got to figure it out. And you know, why not give him some money and let's see where it's gonna go. And then if not, you know, we could all ultimately trade him, you know, at the end of the season or during the middle of the season or next year. Yeah. You know, but yeah, you know, let's run this back. And I mean, Peyton Washington, I think he is worth the money that they're going to give him, or that's what he's asking for.
There you go. And you've been able to see a lot of Jokic this year, obviously because of your son being on that roster. Where does he rank amongst the greats in your opinion, and what else have you seen from being able to see so much of him in a season?
A great question, man. You know, you got so many great, you know, centers out there that played this game. You know, a lot of people don't talk about Moses Malone. You know, Elvin Hayes. those type of people. We always talk about Kareem and those guys, but it's a bunch of guys out there, man, that played this game very well that that a lot of people don't know about. And I rake him up there. I give him. I'm not talking about he's top 5, top 10. I probably give him top 15 because it was. You got Robert Parrish. You got some guys out there. And I'm gonna tell you this: the game is much, much, much more different than today than what it was. When we played. Biggs had to go down there. Don't dribble the ball too much. You're not initiating offense. You're going to go down there. We're going to give you the ball. You're going to do your thing down low.
2 dribbles. Two dribbles to figure it out.
Yeah, 2 dribbles, fade away, this and that. So, Jokic, and you got to credit Don Nelson, Greg Popovich, even Adelman's dad. When he had Vlade Divac and Chris Webber out there in Sacramento initiating offense, passing the ball, making other guys move, and initiating offense. And so, the big man has come into play tremendously in running offense and handling the basketball. And that's the way that it is today.
Tim, I got to stay here now for a minute, and I want to ask you, because we've been getting a lot of different opinions of top 5 all the time. And I know everyone's list is different.
Oh, God.
I know.
Here
I can already see by your face.
He's already telling
Stop.
me no.
Hold on. Give me a second. Because just the last 2 guys we interviewed, older gentlemen, they didn't have LeBron James in the top 5, which I think is crazy. But everyone's different. Everyone's list is different. So I got to ask you, give me a top 5. Who's your top 5?
I tell you this, everybody's top 5 is different. And it's no disrespect to LeBron James. LeBron, I'm going to tell you this. Playing at 41 and doing what he's doing at 41 and flying around the court. And, he's talking about they made him the 3rd option. He was number 2 option, at times number 1 option. So, what he has done, is very, very remarkable. But, you get Michael. I still say Kobe. I still say Magic. And I still say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then you go from there. You got Hakeem Olajuwon, you got Shaquille O'Neal. You can pick whoever you want. But I think I think these guys, what they talking about, they go by championships, and they go by the killer tenacity that these guys had, like Magic, Michael, Kareem, Kobe. They had killer instinct. They came out and they didn't let their team wilder. They gave their team confidence. And I think at times, LeBron. I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan, but at times he doesn't, bring it the way we want him to bring it.
Yeah.
Like James Harden. We want James Harden to bring it. We know what he can do. We want to see that. We like, come on, James. We need this game. I want to see you take over this game. And then sometimes he like, and that's the way we feel with LeBron at times. That's all.
As an Orlando kid, I love this next one too. Is it true that you thought that or think that Penny and Grant Hill in their prime were just as good or better than LeBron?
Whoa. Yeah.
Because, by the way, I think you could throw two, like all those guys, and I love those guys.
Look how happy Chandler just got.
Penny was one of my goats, yeah.
Hey, I tell you, man, I played against Penny. I'm going to tell you, man, if Penny didn't get hurt, him and Michael Jordan would be like 1-2 MVPs in the league.
Wow.
1-2 MVP in the league. That's the way. That's how Penny was. Penny could shoot, defend, rebound, pass. He was like Magic, but he could score. And man, his game was just when I'm saying like James Harden, I need you to score 30. I need you to score 40. I need for you to have 15 assists. I need for you to have, 12 rebounds. Penny would have done that.
Yeah.
Penny would have came out and gave you that. and would have won the game like in Game 7s or Game 6. That's how good Penny was.
Tim, I tell you this, as a young kid, I grew up in Memphis, and I had an opportunity to watch the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers play a preseason game at the Pyramid in Memphis. And my brother asked me, did I want to go? I said, is Penny playing? He said, no. I said, well, I don't want to go see that. And this is in 1995 Chicago Bulls. I had an opportunity to see the real Chicago Bulls in a preseason game, and I turned it down because Penny wasn't involved. That's how good he was when I was growing up.
I mean, that's how good Penny was, man. And like I said, Grant Hill the same way. If Grant Hill wouldn't have got hurt and hampered his, his game, Grant Hill would have been right up there. No question. No question. And even though, you saw a glimpse of him here and there when he was hurt. Just think if he was 100% healthy. Just think all the things that he could. If he was 100% healthy, he would have never left, and Detroit would have never let him go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's crazy to think of what could have been. You were there when LeBron, and the word being used is dominated MJ and a little pickup game. Dominated is a big word. What did you see?
LeBron didn't dominate. So this what happened. I'm gonna tell you this. So LeBron, he had a wrist injury or whatever, and he was coming off his wrist injury, and he didn't play none during the summer. And he was at the gym. And I was like, who's LeBron? Because I never see him. You don't see him on TV. Social media wasn't like it was today, like it was, back then. So we was like, well, who LeBron? He's like, that's LeBron right there. I said, oh, he in high school. You can see that. He's going to grow to be a grown man when he gets 21, 22. And, he was playing and the first game or so, he was just trying to feel it. And I think somebody went over there and said, yo, ramp this stuff up, ramp it up. He didn't say it like that, but you know how he said it. He's like, ramp it up, man, ramp it up. And next thing you know, he started ramping it up, and he came down the court. We know he liked to pass, and he came down the court 3-on-2. And me and the guy, we fanned out because we knew that he was going to pass to somebody. That dude took off from the free throw line, dude. I mean, just took off. We was like, he missed, but he was right there. He tried to dunk it so hard and went way back to the half court. And me and the guy, we looked and we was like, well, damn. A high school kid like that jumping from the free throw line, that's very impressive because you never seen that before. Yeah. We never seen that before. We saw a grown man do it, Michael Jordan, a couple other guys do it. You 28, 29, 30 years old. But we talking about a 19-year-old, 18-year-old kid just take off from the free throw line. And he could have done anything. He could have windmilled it. He could have done anything. But he was just, and I think that it was because this was like his second game playing. I think that he was like really, really hyped up. Mm-hmm. So, and he just took off and he didn't know how to control his body at that time. But it was impressive. We knew then that the guy was going to be really, really good. We knew that he had a future. We knew that he was going to take over the league. You just see it in his demeanor, how he played, how he carried himself, and how humble he was. Yeah. He was always humble.
Yeah. One of your controversial takes, you said MJ would get cooked in one-on-one, and so and you said he needed his teammates. So for the younger guys and youngsters that don't have context to that, explain to us why you feel like he would get cooked in one-on-one and with his game.
Lou, you six man a year.
Yes, indeed.
How many times? 3 years?
3 times.
Okay, so if you got somebody that's playing one-on-one against you that with no help. If I'm in a one-on-one game, if I'm in a one-on-one game with you and I have no help, if you have no help, I'm cooking you. Anybody can get cooked. Anybody can get cooked because there's nobody over there to block your shot. Yeah. Ain't that, who's that? Shaq is not coming over there. Zoe is not coming over there. Dennis Rodman is not coming over there to alter a shot. So if I get past you, 1 or 2 moves. I only need 1 or 2 moves. We don't need all that. I'm gonna shake you here and I'm gonna bring it back here. I'm gonna do this. I was learning to do 1 or 2 moves and get straight to the bucket, get straight to here, straight to there. See, that's what I'm talking about. People take it out of context that on or 5-on-5. I was talking about one-on-one. Exactly. A one-on-one game. A one-on-one game. Whoever get that ball last, you in trouble. You in trouble. I played against Joe Dumars at my camp in El Paso. And he was like, all right, cool. It was 1-1. It was one game to one game. He's like, you ready? I'm like, yeah. All right. He gave me the ball first. He said, don't miss. I said, I'm not going to miss. I missed the last one. I was like up 8-0, game 9. Yeah. That's the only time I was getting the ball was taking it out the rim and giving it to him for check.
So, Tim,
yeah.
By the way, we did like a bracket here of like a dream scenario, one-on-one All-Star Weekend. We think that's obviously what needs to happen All-Star Weekend, because All-Star Weekend now is horrible.
Stop it.
But, so we did a bracket. Kevin Durant came out of the winning it all, the current players. Who do you think it would be the best one-on-one player of all time? Because again, people don't understand how different one-on-one. There's some Hall of Fame players that are terrible one-on-one.
Completely different than fives. Completely different world.
One-on-one all time. Give me the final matchup and who wins.
Who translate?
No pressure.
You know, I'm going to take Kobe. I take Kobe Bryant because his will to put that ball in the bucket was insane. He did not want to lose. Man, I mean, defense, he gonna take the initiative. He gonna take the pride to stick you on defense. You know, another guy I would take, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, I'm telling you, man, I mean, a lot of people, his tenacity, not on just offense, but his defense, his defensive skills. I mean, he could lock you up. He could stop you. But, you know, me, I'd take Kobe Bryant. It'd be between Michael and Kobe Bryant, you know, because
that'd be fun.
I would watch that.
You know, I mean, I would watch that. And another thing, you know, it's a thing that's I'm about to go to with Tracy McGrady, 1v1. He about to start this 1v1 tournament. And we're gonna be in Orlando, so it's gonna be looking out for that because it's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting because it's a lot of ball players out here that can play one-on-one that cannot be stopped, and it's a lot of talent out here. I'm not saying that they're gonna go to the pros or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's a lot of talent out here that guys that they take liberty and onus on, like they the best one-on-one ball players in the country. So it's going to take a lot, but we're going to get there, and we're going to see who the best is.
By the way, are there going to be scouts at these? Like, is there a chance somebody one-on-ones themselves?
By the way, we just talked about, there's a kid, Marshawn Brooks, that was drafted my year who I played with. This dude was so cold one-on-one. Like Cam Thomas. Like, the guy's unbelievable. He can't find a team, but 5-on-5, but one-on-one, he'll go. What's the ideal number of dribbles? 2 or 3?
3 for me.
3?
3?
3 is
no.
It can't be unlimited.
No. I'm going to tell you this. One-on-one is one-on-one. Yeah, if you got to stick me until I shoot the ball, you got to box me.
Then I'm taking Wemby or a big that's just going to back you down. That's no fun.
That's why, you know, we talking about us. I can't stick Wemby.
That's what I mean. That's why there's got to be a dribble.
We got to limit the dribbles. I can't let him do what he wants all day. Yeah, we got to limit the dribbles.
Is there a limit in the thing with Tracy? Is there like one of the rules?
On the other end, he got to stick me too, so I could turn him around and do a lot of stuff to him too.
Yeah,
it's true.
So, but yeah, now Tracy McGrady is the you know, the owner of all this, and he got his you know, it was overseas at first, and then he brought it over here to the United States. So this is the first what I want to say tournament. It's going to be 4 tournaments. So this weekend in Orlando is the first. Then we go to whoever wins. Whoever comes in first, second, third, then they go to another city and then another city until they get the winners.
Oh, wow. I'd watch that for sure.
I would. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I like that.
It's called OBL. It's called OBL.
Oh yeah, I've seen Tracy do that. Okay, fair enough. Real quick on the Knicks, by the way, because they have just been rolling their last 7 games, no issues. I know people believe the Knicks are jinxed and somehow, some way they're going to blow this, but are we looking at possibly their best team since maybe the 70s? Like, what are we looking at here?
You know what? I think the best team since the 70s, you can't count out Spreewell and those guys and what they did in 2000, 1 or whatever, or 99. You can't discount what they did. But I tell you this, OG Anunoby, he has to come back. He has to be 100% healthy in order for them to win the championship. They rolling on all cylinders, and I like what they have done with Big Cat. Big Cat, you are a facilitator. We're gonna make you a facilitator. You don't have to shoot the ball all the time, but we're gonna make you, pass that ball. And I mean, he averaging 8 assists a game in the last 4 or 5 games. And he's doing a great job on defensive end and offensive end. But we all wish he stop fouling unnecessarily and stay in the game for his team. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, that's a huge thing for them. They rely on him to come off the bench and get those rebounds and block shots and cause havoc on the defensive end. So, they, like I said, they got a good nucleus. They feeling really, really good about themselves, and they looking scary, and they looking like, and another thing, when the owner said, hey, we better make it to the championship or other stuff gonna happen. They like, all right, cool. We better make it to the championship, and that's what they looking like, But who I think if they play and with the Detroit Pistons, hopefully, Detroit to win this series, and we gonna see a really, really good matchup between Detroit and New York. Yep. That's gonna be really good for all the NBA people who love NBA basketball. That's going to be a great, great, great series.
I'm here for that. I mean, I loved it last year when they matched up. All right, so you got the podcast, you got the book, Killer Crossover. You want to tell us a little bit about both? But I also want to ask, you said the audio is going to come out. Are you going to read the audio?
Yes, I'm reading the audio. Yes. I'm going to read the audio. I feel that, me reading the audio, I give it that, I know how to talk.
Make it personal.
Into the book and get y'all, like, right. Okay. But the audio, I'm doing the audio. The book is, is from how I grew up way back in the 80s, drugs, gangs, domestic violence, I talk about how, we was mentally ill. We didn't know we was mentally ill, but we had to deal with it back then because we had nobody to talk to. Because if we talked to somebody and our parents found out, we would have got choked to death. So, that's the way it was. So you kept a lot of that stuff in. You just knew how to deal with it. And, basketball, helped me with understanding how to channel myself and just prepare myself for life, and having friends that, competed with me, I competed against, just helped me just with my mind and how to deal with stuff like gangs trying to recruit you, gangs trying to, make you their gang, and follow them in their footsteps. But that wasn't what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my life, because you see that every day. And it wasn't good for you. You see people coming on a bus fighting other gangs. You see people fighting out here on the corner somewhere. So it was just crazy back then. And then so basketball was an outlet for us, or sports was an outlet for us. And how I just prepared myself for life. Listening to people, understanding what they had to say about life, and I. And I had to listen. A lot of kids don't listen. I tell kids, listening is a skill, not an art. You got to understand. You got to listen to people. And if you listen to people, you understand they trying to help you and they not trying to hurt you. And that's what life is about. We all trying to help everyone. We trying to help each other. And some people don't want to listen. Some people do want to listen. The ones that do listen, make it. Like Luke. Come on now. You know how it was growing up. Absolutely. People tried to pull you and like, no, you don't need to go there. You don't need to go there. You got to have a mind of your own, and that's the way it is. Yes, and but the podcast. The podcast is Lindsey Hunter and myself. It's called Crossover Podcast. We got everybody coming in from all Detroit rappers, doctors. Isaiah Thomas, he gonna come on. He got mad at us when we said that about KD. We don't think that KD could have done what Mike did. And back then, he got mad at me and Lindsey and called us up and said, "I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna tell you why." And this and that. But he got some good facts on it.
Yeah, on our show, he said he'd have just as many championships.
Yeah, he comes in with the facts. No joke.
Yeah, he got many facts. He said, "I'm gonna come on with fire." I said, "That's what I want you to do."
That's what we need.
That's what you need. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's it's Detroit based out here in Detroit, and we got good things going on with Crossover Podcast. So tune in to us on YouTube or wherever you can find us at, and we're doing good things. So that's about it.
There you go.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where my son gonna go next year. I want him to go back to Denver.
Well,
That's
hopefully he does.
priority.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he
Make
does, Tim. Good luck with everything. You're a busy man, and hopefully we get a Pistons-Knicks matchup for everybody. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tim.
Appreciate you all too. Hey, y'all doing a good job. Y'all keep up good work. I like
you.
listening to you.
Appreciate
Spread the word.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back.
Appreciate that.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Woo! FanDuel, giving you better payouts on same-game parlays, all NBA playoffs long, from spreads to player points to threes and more. Build it all into one game, same-game parlay, and go for more value. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com/same-game-parlay.
That's a lot of dash.
So many dashes. All right, who wins tonight? I'm not going to keep it simple. We got 80 seconds. Who wins tonight? Cavs, Pistons. What do we got?
I like the Pistons. I feel like the Cavs.
Do you know?
The Cavs just can't win at home, and the Pistons are really good at home. So I mean, the Cavs can't win on the road, and the Pistons are really good at home. 3.5. I kind of like. I like them winning and covering.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the Pistons are going to take care of business tonight.
Oh, you won.
Yeah, I did win. It's gonna be a pivotal game, but I think they bring it on their home floor.
What do you think, Beads?
I want the Pistons to win tonight. I'm sick of being just sort of jerked around by the Cavs.
How much time do the Knicks?
I think they're doing what they're supposed to do.
I don't know what they are.
Both teams
The
are taking
Knicks
care
are
of home
just
court.
chilling.
I hate that for everyone. Can we get we put together a little one of these bad boys. We haven't done one in a while, our little same game parlay. You can tell what mine is.
Detroit
right.
Pistons. Yeah, well, good thing I picked them right now again because I'm in the parlay -3.5. I think that's a good.
Yeah,
good
you
bet.
went big.
I like Tobias over 18 and a half.
Jalen Turner.
23 to be specific.
By the way, consider mine reverse psychology, Jalen, and I'm hoping that you beat that, actually.
Hit the glass, Jalen.
I don't
Hit the
know if that's
glass.
how parlays work, but all right.
We were so bad at this last year. It was our first one of the season.